Searching for a burglar in West Valley City. I'll show you video of that burglar. Two victims believe may be the same person who broke into their homes.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Lauren Steinbrecher live tonight. Lauren, thank you for that. New at 5. A string of home burglaries is leaving several people in West Valley angry and a little bit on edge here.
Video captures what looks like the same person breaking into homes, stealing electronics and jewelry, and neighbors hope police can find him. News specialist Brian Carlson is live in West Valley City with more on this story. Brian?
Yeah, Mike and Ashley, I'm outside of one of these several West Valley homes hit by that burglar over the past week. This home in particular caught video of that burglars as they were going through their house. They're hoping someone can recognize him so police can find him and stop him from breaking into someone else's house next. So take a good look at this pet camera video. It shows you the video of that burglar and his face as he's going through this house. You see him rummaging through the house there on Tuesday. One of the men who lives here says the burglar stole a laptop, a Nintendo Switch, AirPods, and some jewelry. He says the burglar had broken into a window to get into the condo and was in and out before the man's roommate came home.
About 20 minutes before my roommate came home and found everything that just kind of thrown all over the place.
Now compare his video to that outside another home just days before, a few blocks away. Notice the burglar similarly dressed, wearing what appears to be the same white Adidas shoes. The man who lives here says this burglar also came through a window and stole electronics and jewelry. And there may be two more homes with similar stories. So coming up on KSL-5 News at 6:30, I'll show you why the man in that second home says what the burglar took there may be irreplaceable. And if you recognize that man, either way, until then, call police. Live here in West Valley City, Brian Carlson, KSL-5 News. Back to you.
All right, Brian, thank you. New tonight, Granite School District.
Couple of minutes.
Kevin, see you shortly. Thank you. Well, the search is on tonight for a burglar in West Valley City, breaking into homes, stealing valuables, some that can never be replaced. And the burglar, seen on video, may be the same person behind a string of break-ins just in the last week. News specialist Brian Carlson has our story from West Valley City tonight.
These break-ins all have a similar story. A burglar comes through a window in the middle of the day, dressed the same way, stealing the same things. One of them happened to a man who lives in this home in West Valley City, just behind the Redwood Drive-In Theater. What he and another man are missing may be gone for good. Watch as the burglar rummages through this man's house. A pet camera captured his face last Tuesday as he stole a laptop, Nintendo Switch, AirPods, and a gold ring that had belonged to the grandfather, the man who lives here. Make you frustrated a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah. Anthony Fasico says the burglar smashed the kitchen window to get into the house and took off just minutes before his roommate came home.
My roommate was running errands. We have an alarm system. It just wasn't set because it was during the day. He was running a quick errand and didn't think about it.
Compare their break-in, similar to that of another West Valley home last Thursday, a few blocks away. Notice the burglar similarly dressed, wearing what appears to be the same white Adidas shoes.
This was completely opened. It had an AC unit. It was just hanging by the cord down here.
Colton Jones says his burglar also came through a window, ransacked the house, and stole electronics and a gold ring that had belonged to his father, who died when Jones was just 17 years old.
I have so much other stuff that could be worth more than that ring that I would gladly give them, you know.
Both men believe their burglar may be the same person.
Through comparing their video footage and my video footage, they have the same shoes on.
Now, so far, police haven't confirmed if the burglars are the same person, but both men say they've heard from at least two other people claiming a similar burglar broke into their house in the same time frame. So whether it's one person or two, they're stacking up a string of victims. In West Valley City, Brian Carlson, KSL-5 News.
Brian, thank you. Still ahead. Tonight, KSL investigators are taking a look at a power company who overcharged a guy for years. He's been making extra payments for close to 2 decades now, but the power company is refusing to make him whole. Some wires were crossed in a Tooele apartment complex, leaving the man overpaying by hundreds of dollars per year. So why is the power company saying he's only due a partial refund? Don't miss his Get Gephardt investigation tonight on KSL News at 10 p.m. Finally tonight,
.com. Mike and Ashley.
Thank you, Daniela. For almost 2 decades now, he paid his electric bill, thinking the price of electricity is what made it so high. When his neighbors moved out, he made a shocking discovery.
My electric bill, it was $7 and change.
Turns out the meters were incorrectly wired, and he was paying for their power. When the company only refunded a fraction of it, he decided to get Gephardt. Quite the cool page at KSL-TV.com.
If you were overcharged for power, should the power company be allowed to keep what you overpaid?
Yeah, Tooele man sure doesn't think so. He believes the power company owes him a refund. But when they refused, it was time to get Gephardt.
Actually, Mike, every month you pay your power bill trusting that the meter is accurately reporting all those kilowatts you are using. Well, that trust is costing one Utah man thousands of dollars.
John Gardner lives alone, and with the exception of his electric keyboard and a couple of other things, he says he really doesn't use that much power.
I'm always turning the lights off and not running the air conditioner.
And truth be told, he didn't give much thought to his power bill.
My bill was high, and I just figured that was the price of electricity.
But when his neighbors moved out after 17 years, something weird happened.
I got my electric bill, it was $7 and change.
Turns out in this apartment complex, the meters had been wired wrong. John had been paying for his neighbor's power, and his neighbors had been paying for his. And his neighbors apparently used a lot more power than he does. Rocky Mountain Power investigated and determined that over the course of the past 2 years, he had been overcharged $832.71. The power company has issued him a credit for that amount.
So, I mean, that's nice, but what about the other 15 years?
Doing the math, John thinks he is owed about $4,500. But when the power company said 2 years is all he's going to get, I got the call.
I'd like to get all of my money back, but I'd be happy with some of it.
I reached out to Rocky Mountain Power on John's behalf. A company spokesperson declined an on-camera interview, but in a statement they wrote that the mix-up is not their fault, but rather the result of incorrect labeling or wiring of meters during building construction. As for the other 15 years of overpayment, even though the money went to the power company, by rule, they are only required to make a refund or give a credit for 24 months. Well, that news is certainly not music to John's ears.
I feel like, for 17 years, 2 years isn't enough.
Rocky Mountain Power tells me that such mix-ups are rare, but they are not unheard of. You can check your meter by turning off the main breaker on the meter base and then check that the power to your unit is out as well. If turning off the breaker on the meter base does not turn off the power to the unit, then there is likely an issue. If you got something you can't solve, give me a shot at it. The number 385-707-6153, or you can email me, Matt@ksl.com.
Good stuff, Matt. Thank you.
Kevin joining us now.